That was George. This is a photocopy, of course. Right. I have original. Well, Grandma was 94 when she passed away.
Wow.
Granddad was in his early 70s. Granddad died at Ballina. Grandma died at Lismore in my parents' time.
Right. The land is what was the gift to the community, and at that stage it was virtually unoccupied land.
It didn't have any caravan parks.
But
the entire area, the town boundary and the park, but the whole thing was Suffolk Park.
Yes.
The entire area, but there was two separate leases.
Yeah.
So the town boundary was one, and then the park. So when the town was signed over or went to development, the piece remaining was called the park.
This piece.
Yeah, the piece remaining. But the entire area is still Suffolk Park. This one here was a total separate lease to the original town plan.
Because the
total separate identity, this one.
And to be held in trust for the public as a recreational ground.
And the name could not be changed.
No, no.
I'm Elizabeth Brown. I'm Director of Corporate Community Services with Byron Council. The purpose of today's meeting was for me to acquaint myself with what the community is particularly keen to see at the caravan park adjacent to here.
On the 1st of April last, I was in council when the Open Manager, John Tilton, presented his case, his staff recommendations that this park be made operational. He would have to be completely out of touch with the Suffolk Park community to even suggest that the park be taken away from the community. On the legal side, he should know he hasn't got a leg to stand on. In 1996, council solicitors looked at the paperwork regarding the transfer of the land and told council that this was definitely council community land. We want the caravan park to stay the same low-key little camping spot it was when a group of local volunteers, amongst whom Snow Virtue here, built it. This is community land belonging to this community.
The first thing is, you do not want it to be community land. The moment it's community land, it's then basically controlled by Acts of Parliament. Parliament which tell Byronshire Council what they must do. And one of those things they must do is have a plan of management for all community land. Now, what you should be doing is going through the trust direction.
If the council does it right, there is no threat for permanent residents under community land arrangements. As long as you have a proper plan of management that recognises the right of those permanent residents to be there.
I mean, I like the low-key character of it, but it could have, for example, a beautiful playground for children. It could have, you know, some areas where the resident people like to come together and on a Saturday afternoon or something like that. But I don't feel really invited to come to that park. And something, I was also here in '96 performing on a Saturday afternoon, and it was a beautiful atmosphere, so we should have another party in the very near future, you know, to enjoy and to mingle and to be with each other.
The people elect the council to represent the people. I think the people have made it very clear this evening how they would like to be represented, and in good faith and hope, I believe that can be possible. Thank you very, very much.
I've got a copy of the memorandum transfer here, and the land was sold to council, or sold under a section of the Local Government Act 348 at the time, and there was a payment of 10 shillings which made at the time.
It was quite clear that the land was transferred to be held by council in trust for this community. That was the basis upon which it was transferred. And added to that, it was made even more clear by saying that the land was to be kept, therefore, for the community for all time. Now, it couldn't be more clear than that, but that was the clear intention.
What we're talking about now is classification of land that is public land. whether it is community land, which would be for a park, a hall such as this, for general use by the public, or whether it's operational, which then allows commercial activities to occur on it, such as the caravan park.
What are the guarantees that you're going to provide that the process of consultation with this community will take place to a significant level, so that when it moves from public to operational, if it occurs, that process is guaranteed that it won't be sold, subject to not having significant public debate and discussion?
The only way I believe that you could prevent it from being on sale would be who you vote for in the council is one. Two, this council would have to impose some sort of a covenant on the land saying that it can only ever be used for caravan park or similar type purposes.
The covenants can just be removed. Just as you
yeah, that's right.
What do we do and turn around to the people that have been living in the caravan park for a long time? We can't move either way. So it is a very difficult situation.
Apparently, the land can be rezoned into operational land under the guise of a trust. So if the land, if it did put up for sale, it would have to be by agreement through that trust, and that trust would be a community trust appointed by the community.
It is clear that the transporter, the dredging company and the council all accepted that a provision had been made in the original subdivision for a public garden and recreation space, and that the transfer was made in pursuance of the section 340A, and it goes on. If the council wishes to sell that land, it would first have to be reclassified as operational land. Yes, given these circumstances, the land has been classified as community land.
Back in 1996, after they tried to flog this place off, there was a survey done called the Lamp Survey, and there were 300 households surveyed, and there was one question regarding the caravan park. The answer to the question about the caravan park was that the residential and tourism balance be kept as it was, like the status quo be kept. And at that stage there were 26 permanents here. So now we're down to about 17.
I just find the whole situation confusing. It's not good for anybody, I think, to not have confidence where they're living.
I love it here, and I hope it turns out well.
I don't actually believe that they have to make it operational, and I don't trust that future councils would, you know, forfeit 40 million, which is probably what this property is worth, for keeping so few local residents happy and, you know, campers.
Nobody really cares about affordable housing. I mean, a few people make money off of it, someplace building an apartment complex, but if they can't do that, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They're not about to do it out of the purity of their hearts.
We're just wanting the best outcome, basically. We live here, you know, and we're very low impact, really, aren't we?
Yes,
you know,
right.
we're so proud of our places, and yeah, we're just thankful to be here, basically. So, yeah, I don't know what I'd do if I was thrown out, actually. But I'm not saying that would happen with the present council, but yeah, it's a worry with future councils.
I think the most important thing first is to work out how they're going to run the park, if they can do it legally, are permanents going to be here or not. Hopefully we are, then we can work it out. It shouldn't be that hard. It's just, people just get jaded and worn out with just longer, you know, it just goes on forever and ever, and you just get sick of it.